If I crank the throttle in 6th gear, not a lot's going to happen, to be fair. I mean, it will go, obviously. Let's do it. Right, nothing coming. Ready? So you're quickly up to 60, but nothing you can't handle. If you're in 2nd gear and you do that, this bike will rapidly get to 10,000 RPM, and when it hits 10,000 RPM, the power band comes in, and then it completely changes from a pussycat into a complete raving lunatic. This bike is, if you keep on it, on the gas, this bike is ridiculously quick, and I mean ridiculously quick. And that's me coming from a 125. I know there's guys out there who's going to say, well, hang on a minute, I've got a 1000cc Hayabusa and it's much faster than that, and they're right, it is. And that's what makes me think it's an even stupider idea. Let's just get around this roundabout. Some guy in a fucking Civic behind me revving away. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why I think it's an even stupider idea to jump on a litre bike rather than a 600. But then, you know, there are other choices. You can get a 650, more comfortable riding position. We'll talk about the riding position on this bike in a minute, but yeah, this bike is fantastic, don't get me wrong. I mean, it purrs along. We're doing 6,000 RPM, just under 70 mile an hour. I'm not even touching the throttle, literally feathering the throttle. I'm not letting this guy behind me get past, because there's a guy in a white car and he's driving like an absolute lunatic. He's right up my arse. I don't think he realises that I've got him on camera. But anyway, yeah. So riding this bike sensibly, why not? Get one tomorrow after you pass your test. If you want a sport bike, this is an ideal starter sport bike. You know, like I say, it's quite compliant in the lower revs. The brakes are fantastic. It rides really smooth. You can just ride it around in 6th gear all day and it'll be perfect. 30 mile an hour, 6th gear, no worries. Now what does happen is, if, like I say, if you get into them higher RPMs, it comes alive. It really does come alive as well. There's plenty of power here. I mean, this bike will do 0 to 60 in sub 3 seconds in the right hands. Definitely sub 4 seconds, even if you don't know what you're doing. And I think it's got a top speed of about 165 miles an hour. That's fast enough for anyone. You're never going to do that on the road. If you want to, you know, take it to the track, then yeah, by all means, this is the bike for you, I think, if you're just starting out. Now I was going to talk a little bit about the riding position. It's a sport bike. It's not, the riding position is aggressive. My knees are right up on the tank. My hands are, you know, I'm leant forward, and the seat is like concrete. So if you're out on this bike for a couple of hours, your ass really does start to know that you're doing it. Yeah, it's not the most comfortable bike in the world, but people don't buy a sport bike for comfort, do you? You buy it because it's quick and you want to feel that power, and there's plenty of power here. There's more power than you could ever use on a public road. Twice as much. and you can find yourself in triple figures in second gear if you give it the beans, and that's not a joke. I'm being serious there. This bike is really quick, really quick. So the question is, should I go from a 125 to a 600?